Hi, a very warm welcome to Dusty Shelf Collectibles. Today we're talking about the Bristol Railway Exhibition. Yeah, hi. Over this weekend I've been down to Bristol, as you may have seen on my other videos, to the Bristol Model Railway Exhibition, or Model Railway Fair, whatever you want to call it. Quite a long way for me, and not something I would normally do, but getting into the hobby a little bit more at the moment. I've been looking at the different shows that are on, and I'm going to try and make an effort to go to a few of them because I'm getting so much out of it. I'm really enjoying it. So I had a few other things to do down in sort of the West Country area, so I sort of combined things together, and I made my way down there. So this video is really just a chat and a retrospective to talk about the show and how good it was actually. Now, setting off, I didn't know what to expect. Going on the London show, I mean, that was huge. There was so much there. And I kind of felt that maybe the Bristol one would be a sort of a very local area show. We have one in my very local area, and it's done in the local school, and obviously you get half a dozen layouts and a couple of shops, so I was a bit worried driving all that way it would be something quite small. It couldn't have been further from the truth. What a fantastic show, what a fantastic show. So in a sports centre, as you may have seen, it was based in the 3 sports halls, so plenty of room. And the way it was set out was quite interesting in that in each of the sports halls, in the centre they had the layouts facing outward, and then around the periphery of each room it was all of the other exhibitors, whether they be retailers or societies, etc., all around the outside. This worked really well because you didn't then get lots of people queuing to see a layout overlapping into sort of the retail space and vice versa. So it was very well set out. And as I said at the end of my video, when I came out, how many cars were there? Didn't feel that busy inside most of the time. Did get crowded on occasions, but nowhere near the number of people as London. So in that respect it was pretty good. I went on the Saturday, and it's a 3-day show this, so it runs on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Yes, as I say, it's not it didn't feel overly crowded. I mean, the video shows sort of around lunchtime when I was trying to sort of film walking around, it was it's a little bit tricky. But anyway, the layouts there, the quality of layouts, I mean, they were superb. There were some massive layouts there. I mean, again, I said it with the London Fair, how the hell do these people move these? I mean, I try and move one of my layouts into the dining room to use it. I've got a couple of portable layouts. I call them portable, but they're on 6x4 boards, and I've never managed to move one without breaking something. And these layouts that they've got here are 20-30 feet long. And they sort of run, they have a staging area where the sort of the viewing area is, and then round the back, I mean, massive amount of tracks just behind the scenes, to store the locos that they ran round into the show area. Absolutely amazing, some of these layouts, and the time and effort that must have gone into just creating them, let alone the time and effort in actually transporting them there. So thank you to everybody involved in that. I mean, I know you do it for the love of it, but if it wasn't for you, these shows just wouldn't happen. And the efforts that you put into taking these massive layouts around the country, I mean, certainly from my perspective, it's well appreciated. Thank you. I've really enjoyed myself on the 2 shows that I've done this year. So anyway, there was, like I say, all of the layouts were superb, but there was a few that sort of stuck out to me, which I thought were pretty good. So no particular order. The first one I liked was Project Iraq. Basically, I always like to find a layout that's sort of unusual or different, and yeah, the subject matter was great, and obviously they were also raising money for Help for Heroes. The whole thing about it I just thought was really well done. Nice, contained, small layout with a great theme. Yeah, really like that one, really nice. The other one, next one was, and this one, forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, but it's Angst Less Pork. Don't know if I'm saying that right, I'm just sort of saying it phonetically. There's probably some very strong meaning for it, apologies, but just the way this was crafted, again, quite a small layout, but really beautifully crafted, and you know, with a boat scene in front, and then you know, there's sort of like a courtyardy type affair with some carriages, horse and carriages around, and then running with a 009 gauge, which is one of my favourite gauges, running through there with a sort of narrow gauge locos. I thought it was really, really good. Stood there looking at that one for quite some time. The next one that jumped out was a 2mm scale Copenhagen Fields. Now this was one of those really big layouts, and especially in such a fine gauge, you know, such a small gauge. I mean, the sort of goods area where the tracks just opened out into a sort of a fantail of different tracks running through, and then at the other far end you've got sort of the town scene. Now the bit that really struck me on this, and I think I mentioned it in the video, was they'd used forced perspective on the buildings. So the buildings closest to us were somewhat high, and then they sort of crept away into the distance, reducing in size. Absolutely marvellous effect. Made the layout look 10 times the size it was, and it was a big layout anyway, but it just, you know, I thought that worked so well. Looked really, really good. The whole layout is built slightly on an incline, so as you're looking up, it's sort of going away into the distance. Really, really effective. And I also mentioned the lighting on it. You know, they had a sort of whole lights coming down from above. Really, really wonderful layout. There's a little tram car running along the front. There was a also, I didn't catch it on the film, but it looked like they had a sort of underground train running through underneath it as well. That wasn't running as I walked past a couple of times, but yeah, there was a track sort of lit deep below in the ground, if you like. So yeah, very effective. I quite like that one. Right, the next one was the Taff Vale Railway. Now, forgive me if I get this wrong, because I'm not a Welsh speaker, but I believe it's pronounced Anessa Bull, which is and the next one was the Taff Vale Railway. Now, forgive me, I'm not a Welsh speaker, but I'm going to attempt it. I believe it's pronounced Anessa Bull, which is or Nessa Bull, which is the name of a little village in Wales. And I just love this. Unfortunately, I've lost the footage of it. I've got the footage with me walking around in there, but I did film for quite some time all of the movements of the locos on there, and it's just not on the camera, so unfortunately I didn't get that to sort of share with you. It's just a little bit I've got as I sort of walk past. But the buildings on there, I mean, I love this, you know, it just looked authentic. It looked really, really well done. And yeah, I stood there looking at that one for a long time. Very, very fond of that one. It was really, really, really executed well. And then finally, of course, the Parlour Railway. Yeah, I mean, I said as I walked round, this is my favourite, and I stand by that. I just thought it was totally unique. The engines on it were fascinating. I mean, they must have been, well, they are scratch built. I mean, they look scratch built. They are scratch built on a broad gauge layout. But essentially, it's just a straight piece of track, or 3 straight pieces of track, and the engines cross. But the way the track was laid onto sort of a dark wood finished board, almost like a sideboard, with the little lamps peering over the top and a couple of plot plants. It was just really, really well done, really well executed, and yeah, hats off to you. I don't know, the creativity to come up with that, you know, fantastic, and to showcase those particular engines on that layout. I stood there watching that for a long time. I thought that was absolutely wonderful, really, really good. So anyway, I did make some purchases at the show, so I just thought I'd share those quickly with you. So, starting with these couple of wagons, I just picked these up. These are for the 3-rail setup that I've got going on. I just picked these up because they were in good condition. They were a couple of quid each. So, yeah, those didn't look too bad. I picked this loco up. Seen better days, but it's a die-cast body, and the body is in really beautiful condition. So I have some plans for this. I will look out for a suitable chassis. This chassis, I think possibly I might try and repair it, but it does look as though it's beyond repair. It's seen better days, so I'll you know, probably consider looking out for a new chassis. But with the die-cast body, I think it can make a really nice engine of that. It's got a good weight to it, so yep, we'll see what happens with that one. Probably a project to put on the channel at some point. I then picked up these different cars. Now, these were pretty good. These worked out about £2.50 each, and as you know, these, they retail, I think, about £6-7 normally, and they're 1/72 scale, which means they're going to drop straight on the layout. They're going to look great. So what have we got here? We've got a postal van, a mini postal van. I do like my minis, so that's great. We've got a mini traveller, again, like that one. Little ice cream van, Walls ice cream van. Then there's a taxi and a Land Rover, both of Chipperfield Circus, so these are going to go straight on the circus scene on the 3-rail layout. Got a mini police car. What's this one? I can't remember now. This was another mini traveller's van in red, and then over here a sort of incident support for another mini. As I say, I do like my minis, so you can never have too many of those on a layout, in my opinion. So yeah, I picked those up, which I thought were quite a good buy. I then picked up this silly wagon. Yeah, it made me laugh anyway. Silly? No. Yeah, sorry. Just made me chuckle, and that's why I got it. And yeah, I came home to my missus. She said, "What have you bought?" I said, "Oh, I bought a silly wagon." But yeah, anyway, made me chuckle. It's my sense of humour. Sorry. Anyway, on to this one. So this was one of on the Metcalfe stand. There was a stand at one end of one of the halls. I forget which one it was. They had a lot of fine cast on there, but also loads and loads of Metcalfe. And this was sitting on, on one of the racks, and it looks like it's a new release, something I wasn't aware of. Hotel Wednesday. I just love the look of that. I think that looks really, really, really great. Reminds me of the, I think, was it Holbrook Hall, the one in Scarborough that fell off the cliff? It was that kind of architecture. I think it was that. Anyway, that's going to look really, really great on the 3-rail. It's a low relief building as well, so that will build on the channel at some point. And then finally, this company, JS Models. Now, I'd seen them online a couple of times, and the kits, the buildings look really, really good. Didn't know a lot about them, but managed to have a look at the buildings on their stand, and they looked pretty good quality. Now, they're not cheap. These were £30 each. So I've got here a industrial warehouse and also an engine shed. And again, the plan is to build those and review them on the channel, see what they're like, and yeah, they should look pretty good as well on the layout. So yes, we'll see what they're like as time goes on. But anyway, I'll just wrap this one up by thanking again everybody involved in putting the show on. I had a fantastic day. It was well worth the drive. It was a long drive for me, but it was absolutely worth it. I will go again next year. Can't recommend it enough. I mean, it was slightly smaller than London, but it was on a par with London in terms of enjoyment level. I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, fantastic. Anyway, we'll leave that one there. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.